Hello and welcome back to Green Fandango Remastered. So, through a series of unfortunate events, we've arrived at the edge of the world with no possibility of going back. Does Gladys have anything to say about it?
Getting a little blue around the edges. See any hint of that octopus swimming around here?
No, but I can smell them.
See any hint of that octopus?
No, but I can smell them.
So, let's investigate.
Gladys, I'm gonna sneak inside and look for Meche.
What if that octopus comes back while you're gone?
Poke him in the eye and steal his sub.
Stupid octopus.
Now remember that pigeon we received from Salvador? That messenger pigeon, he told us that Meche jumped in the ocean, jumped aboard from the ship around the pearl. We've seen where the pearl was. So maybe she's somewhere inside, right?
This door's locked. Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it.
You can hear through the music the tension rising.
It's empty. It's empty. Meche,
Manny, what are you doing here?
I wanted to see how your trip was going, Angel. I am your travel agent, you know. By the way, thanks for that bottle of champagne you sent me. It really hit the spot.
You were headed for a trap. I was trying to warn you. Domino was using me like bait. I didn't want you to end up a prisoner here like me.
Prisoner? Where's your cell? Or are you just sharing a bunk with the warden?
If that's what you think of me, then why did you come here?
Because this is where he belongs. Here, working for me. I knew you'd come around eventually. Right or wrong, Manuel Calavera is always with the winning team, right, Manny? That's why you're here now.
I'm getting off this rock, and I'm taking all of these people with me.
Manny, there's no way off this island. I'm afraid you're stuck here in my little executive training program. See, I need you to take my place here, kid. I've got to get back to the city where the action is.
Sorry, Manny, but I had to come in. My skin was getting all pruny.
Him, I don't need.
I'm gonna grind you to powder for that, cabrón.
Maybe later. But for now, let me just show you your new office.
Careful, BB. The new boss is waking up.
I like my old desk better. No drawers. This is sad. Hola, angelitos.
I'll bite you, I swear to God!
Please don't bite anyone else, Pugsy. That's why they put us in the cage in the first place.
My name is Manny Calavera. What's yours?
Mr. Hurley told us about you. You're the one who tricked Meche.
Poor Meche.
I didn't trick anybody.
Mr. Hurley said he was supposed to take care of Meche, but you stole her case from him.
Is that true?
Let me see if I can explain this whole thing to you. You see, I had this job, selling travel packages to immigrant souls. If I sold enough of them, I got to leave the land of the dead. Now, I was in a slump, and I really needed a fat commission, so...
You're a bad man.
Go away, bad man!
Yeah, go away!
That explanation didn't go too well. Didn't go well at all.
Meche is my friend. You can ask her.
She talked about you before.
Every time she says your name, she looks so sad.
I don't know what you did to her, but you're gonna be sorry.
What are you two doing in this cage?
Making light bulbs.
Look, we're working as hard as we can. Why don't you leave us alone?
Listen, children, I'm here to help.
There's really not much more room in here.
Your hands are too big to make light bulbs.
I'm here to help you get out of this cage.
You can't do that. We have to stay here and take care of Meche.
She'd be so sad here all alone. Sometimes we hear her crying, you know.
My hands are not too big to make light bulbs.
Then why don't you help?
I just don't have any of those little tiny tools, that's all.
Here, take my hammer.
Why do you want to bite me?
You're the mean new boss.
Mr. Hurley said you were meaner than him.
He said you had a bone saw.
You know, I really do want to help.
Then why don't you?
I'm in the Maritime Union. We can't do factory work.
I don't know what those words mean.
It means he doesn't want to help us because he's mean.
On second thought, maybe I don't.
We don't want to either, but we don't have a choice.
Okay, back to work.
So mean.
Okay, so because they died as children, they are angels because they were innocent. Now, he did throw at me a small hammer, the ones they used to chisel that coral. And by the way, remember this coral, this color? Domino had something like this in his desk back in Almaro. That reference to the Maltese Falcon. The falcon made out of coral. It was the exact same coral color, so it's a glowing type of coral. That's why they are making light bulbs out of it. Let me see if I can pick this up. Let's use the mouse.
This is the tiniest little hammer I've ever seen.
So this is where the door was locked, right? Let's go and talk to Meche if we can find her.
Oh, look, it's my Prince Charming. Are you back here just to insult me some more, or do you just want some ice for your head?
Right. This is the point in Manny's story where he actually starts to have a conscience now, moving from just being a sales agent, looking for the commission, seeing the kids slaves actually working, and seeing where his actions took Meche. He's starting to think maybe she shouldn't only think of himself, but actually help others as well. So this is a turning point for the Manny character.
Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it.
Once you got used to the sooty aftertaste, you'd feel like a king.
So here we will need Meche to burn her pantyhose, actually. So we'll need to somehow move that ashtray. There we go.
Oh, my stockings! They're ruined!
Don't ask me why.
And this was my best hair! You try to have one nice thing on this cruel island.
Anyway, we'll get some burned pantyhose.
Good enough for me.
What is?
Oh, the speed at which you're working.
That's nice, Manny, but you're not my boss, so really I couldn't care less.
Good. Excellent. Carry on. I like the new dress.
Well, it's the best I could pull together out here. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get decent fabric and silk stockings on a deserted factory island on the edge of the world?
No, I don't.
So these are actually silk stockings. Maybe they're quite expensive to have here.
I think we need to talk.
Start talking. You're the salesman.
I have a lot of explaining to do.
Save your breath. Domino's explained it all to me already.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
Me? About what?
Why did you take me out with that champagne bottle?
I told you to stop you from falling into Domino's trap. If you had made it on that ship, then you would have ended up...
Here?
Yes.
Why are you working for Domino?
I do what he asks only to protect the children.
Why are those children locked up in a cage?
With the wings those angelitos have, they're the only things on this island Domino can't control.
Hey, if they can fly, let's set the kids free to go get help.
They can't fly that far, Manny. But they can fly circles around Domino, and they can bite pretty hard.
So why did you run out of my office?
I felt so embarrassed, and you looked so disappointed in me. I couldn't stand it anymore.
Then what were you doing that whole year I was in Rubacava?
I was lost.
What did you...
I don't want to talk about that year, please.
Has Domino hurt you in any way?
Not as much as I've hurt him. Boy, can that guy take a punch.
Okay, I'll lay off the questions.
Great. Now if we could get you to just lay off the cologne.
Hey, I'm a sailor now. We have to wear this stuff. Come on, we're getting out of here.
Trying to steal my commission from Domino again. Manny, don't you ever give up?
I'm not after any commission. I just want to get us both out of here.
Then why don't you just ask your boss for the day off?
Can't believe you think he's my boss. He's my arch enemy.
I think he's your boss. You think he's my boyfriend. We don't seem to have a good foundation of trust in our relationship, do we?
I'm sorry I implied he was your boyfriend. I do trust you.
Well, I'm not sure I trust you about that. But I'll tell you one thing that would convince me.
Name it.
Give me your gun.
What? What makes you think I have a gun?
You work for the most heavily armed organization in the land of the dead. Don't try to tell me they didn't issue you a gun.
It's actually funny because the DoD, of course, is the Department of Defense, but in this game the DoD is the Department of Death. Well, they sound like synonyms actually. And she tells us that we work for the most heavily armed organization in the entire country. So for sure the DoD is a reference to the Department of Defense, the US Department of Defense.
They didn't issue me a gun.
What, are you on probation? I'm not buying this, Manuel. Manny, why don't you come back when you're willing to deal straight with me, okay?
So maybe if we get a gun for her, like a sprouter, as we use in this game.
Sir, do you have an appointment?
I'm going in there to tell Domino my demands.
I don't think you fully understand the chain of command around here. Pugsy and BB work for you. You and I work for Domino, who works for Hector Le Mans, crime boss of El Maro.
Well, I think it's time for a little corporate restructuring. He seems completely unaware of how close I am to escape.
He doesn't seem to care much about us escaping, because you've seen the edge of the world is in the middle of the ocean. There's no way out of there. It's worse off than Alcatraz.
Domino! Domino!
Taking your first coffee break already, Calavera?
We got a score to settle, Issy.
You know, if I ever spoke to my boss Hector that way.
You killed my best friend.
The demon? Manny, you can use a demon as a driver. Let him carry your messages, let him serve you food. but you can't ever start thinking of them as friends. It's just not natural.
Okay, that didn't sound good at all.
Why don't you just sprout me like you tried at Puerto Zapato?
That wasn't me. That was Hector. He's so unimaginative. Just wants to tie up the loose ends, you know? But I believe, however, that you can be rehabilitated through honest work.
What makes you think I'm gonna work for you?
Well, there's not much to do on this island if you don't work, take it from me. And think about it. Once I'm gone, it will be just you and Meche alone on this deserted island. Don't tell me that prospect doesn't appeal to you.
What are you doing out here on the edge of the world?
Oh, I know. I ask myself that every day. But I'm going to train you, Manny, to take my place here running this 2-bit light bulb factory.
You and Hector set up a secret hideout to make light bulbs?
Oh, no, that's just a side benefit. The real purpose is to have a place we can lock up all those old clients of mine. Can't have good people wandering loose in the land of the dead, telling everybody how we stole their double-in tickets, now can we?
Ah, so that's why we need the place. All those people we robbed of their double-end tickets, we're keeping them locked here.
You stole all these people's tickets?
Okay, how much of this haven't you figured out, Calavera? Capal would route all the good clients to me after he switched over their tickets to a secret holding fund. I'd cover up the paper trail, and we'd make sure that the pigeon jumped overboard at the Pearl.
Ah, so that's all those people falling in the ocean, the octopus got a hold of. Those were innocent souls, so to speak, and we end up here locked up.
I knew it! You were getting all the good clients.
I handled them all, except for Mercedes, who you hijacked from me in that ridiculous hot rod, which I saw, by the way, last time I was in Rubacava. I tell you, Manny, hot rods like that just don't look safe to me.
So it wasn't my fault Meche didn't get a ticket. You stole it.
Well, it's your fault she ended up in the forest instead of coming here right away, but I fixed that.
How can you keep little children in a cage?
Trust me, it's easier than keeping big kids in a cage.
One ticket for you, one for Hector. How many more do you need?
Oh, Manny. We never touch the product ourselves. We sell a ticket to unfortunate souls, unable to lead moral lives because of the crippling amount of cash they were born into.
But you could just take the tickets and leave today.
We found a way to make the land of the dead livable. Why would we want to leave?
Nice island you got here.
Yeah, the previous owners didn't know what they had here. Let us pick it up for a song. They scooped out all the coral they could reach with their crane and then abandoned the plant. But we knew we had what it would take to go the extra distance to the big reef.
Are you about to lecture me about the winning attitude again?
No! Slave labor, Manny. That's the real ticket to success.
I don't plan to be on this island for very long.
Manny, I have all the guns. I have all the transportation, and I have all the brains. What are you gonna do?
I'm taking Meche out of this dungeon.
Manny, before I found her, she spent a year out there in the petrified forest alone because of you. By comparison, I'd say I'm keeping her pretty comfortable here in my dungeon. Wouldn't you say?
Well, I gotta get back to trying to escape.
Hey, you do that, kid. Knock yourself out.
Well, not much you can do here, but Meche should know we're here to save her, right?
I like the new dress.
Well, it's the best I could pull together out here.
I'm trying to talk to her and instead I interact with the ashtray because the character turns his head right when I'm trying to talk to her.
Hey, about that gun.
Ready to hand over your heater?
I would if I had one.
Right.
I don't work for the most heavily armed organization anywhere.
You know, you're right. There are those rumors of that revolutionary army that's been stockpiling weapons.
Actually, them, I work for.
Manny, why don't you come back when you're willing to deal straight with me, okay?
Okay, what else can we do? Let's go outside. As opposed to Rubacava, there are not many places to go or people to interact with here. Rubacava was designed as a non-linear quest hub, but here it's pretty one-way. So this is a conveyor belt.
How convenient.
It's probably used to for the coral they mine. Now we've just inverted it. Let's just keep it like this for now.
Nothing but dark waters that direction.
Oh, so they captured this guy and made him a slave now.
I bet all these miners were brought here by that octopus. Well, at least it didn't eat them. Lay down your tools. We're busting out of here. Man, if I had only gotten that book back from Terry, I could really start some trouble here.
Hold still.
I'll bet all these miners were brought. Well, at least it didn't
I'll
eat them.
show him. Stupid chisel.
Chapito seems a little overpowered by his choice of tools.
I'll show him.
Chapito!
Huh? Who? Oh, you is it? Why, I oughta look at my eyebrows.
Well, you really weren't standing in a very safe place.
Well, neither are you right now, amigo.
That tool looks a little overpowered for you.
Overpowered? Nothing overpowers Chapito.
If you say so. Nice drill.
Drill? This here is a cordless, high-speed reciprocating chisel. And look, it's a bust-all. They usually don't give these to the new guys.
How'd you get a bust off?
I'm connected, plugged in, and I had some booty to trade. Trade's the name of the game out here in the Big Reef.
Booty? Where'd you get booty?
It's all over the ocean floor. Jewelry, precious coins. You people and your fancy folks never know about it, 'cause you just never stop and look.
Give me some booty and I'll buy our way out of here.
I traded it all for this beauty.
You traded jewelry and precious coins for a power tool?
It's a bust-all.
I want to trade something.
Well, you came to the right place, sonny. What you be needing?
A hug, I can do without. A boat, I don't guess can get a boat for us. How about a gun?
A gun.
Ooh, that's gonna cost some. What do you got on you?
My scythe.
You'd be willing to part with that?
No.
When you got something worth trading, come see old Chapito. He'll do you right.
What do we have to trade except the scythe?
You know, a little clear nail polish would fix these right up.
Unless you want this?
Yo, Pito! Have you ever seen an authentic little chipper?
A little chipper? No, I haven't. But I'd sure love to give it a test drive. Say, little chipper, you're okay. Da-dee-da-da.
Okay.
It's a bust off.
Going to Mississippi.
Doesn't he want it back?
No way, I don't want to remind him that I took it.
Oh, Virginia.
It's funny that he's now calm and singing, so the power tool was really getting on his nerves. Let's see, does he own this stocking as well?
Hey, Cheppy, check out the hosiery.
Say, these are real silk. Where'd you find them?
I've been wearing them the whole time.
You too? Well then, here's your new best friend.
Ah, my first Sprautella gun. Is it loaded?
No. Hey, bullets are hard to get.
Okay, so we got a gun from him as well.
Ah, my first Sprautella gun.
Gonna see Miss Liza. Do-do-do. Mm-boom-boom.
So let's give Meche the gun then. I don't know about this.
Here, what good's a relationship without trust?
True, a relationship without trust is about as empty as a gun without bullets. Guess you didn't realize a smart girl always keeps an extra round in her hat for mad days. Come on, let's go.
Meche, you don't know what you...
I know exactly what I'm doing. Now move!
Would you just listen to my escape plan first?
Trouble in paradise, kids?
You're letting us go right now, or your boy Friday here gets it.
Well, I hate to see you go, Manny, but the lady seems to have made up her mind.
I'm serious. I'll shoot him.
Fine. It really doesn't work for me anyway.
But I thought I'll shoot you then.
No, you won't. You're too good, remember?
I'm not good anymore. You've taken that out of me, keeping me a prisoner here. I'm gonna crack you open like a fake wing gauze. I'm gonna...
Kid's all right. She's a firecracker, but a night in the cooler usually dampens her fuse.
Well, that didn't help us at all.
Man, that ashtray's so fancy you could eat caviar out of it.
I'm in here! Manny!
Ooh, I bet I could pick that. If only I hadn't lost my union card in that poker game.
I'm in here!
Not picking that up. Ooh, I bet I could pick that. If only I hadn't lost my union card in that poker game.
I think I'm running out of air! Manny!
Well, that doesn't seem to help us.
I'm in here!
This should open it. I guess I didn't enter the right combination.
Mm-hmm.
BB!
I think we can use the power tool to try and open the door, but we'll do that in the next video, guys. We've been recording for half an hour. So, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.